Me be bokube. Like what do they do for church inside? Like I get money where they come sprinkle them for here. And they come share monies to people.
Now so on time call one day we'll call.
Am I supposed? Is it by force to always come to church?
31st and corner out.
No, but Kwame, is it by force that you must always be in church?
So that's why they get surprised when you enter once in a while.
But why? Hey,
once in a blue moon, when they see you, you should expect. Hey,
me
on you.
Me and my mom. Recently, I was teasing my mom. Now, Mama, you always fight me. Hey, go to church. Hey, you must be in church. You must be in church. Mom, you've been at home for 1 year. You couldn't go to church. My mom had been sick.
Oh, okay.
And for 1 year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've been doing? Do you know what has kept me out of
but
church?
But you are not sick.
Hey, but must I be sick before not going to church? Maybe.
You pray at home. You do your morning devotion.
You know that morning devotion thing. Must devotions be done only at morning?
You can do it in the afternoon as well.
We can have evening devotion.
Oh yes, you can.
Night devotion.
I bring beer offering and coupon by Josu. I want to collection. Collection here.
Is it by force?
It is.
It's by force.
You need to offer to the Lord.
Yes.
And pay your tithe.
Yes. But you know, be say if you know if you give God, soldier go come take you from your house or military police.
One way of paying your tithe, if you like, is to, when you come in the morning like this, you can give. Oh, Kwame does it take 100 CDs.
That alone, that is also.
So if you do
that,
that,
also work of. That's also an art of.
So maybe since you don't go to church regularly, you can start doing that when we come in the morning.
Oh, Kwame, I don't need to do that here.
Not here.
But okay, not you.
Charity begins at home.
I'll do it at home.
No, this is your home.
Gospel. I'll be speaking with the chairman of the Table of Men, Dr. Kwesi Ernest, CEO of Media Excel, my very good brother.
He doesn't go to church too?
Kwesi should tell us the last time he went to church. If Kwesi comes here to lie, I curse him by losing 3 of his favorite shirts. I know Kwesi loves some good shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's either the buttons will tear rough, or some ekura from nowhere will enter his bedroom.
We will put oil in the shirt.
The reason I'm calling Kwesi Ernest is so simple. I heard Kwesi Ernest on the radio over the weekend say the Table of Men, they are on break.
Ish.
And it's not by force. In fact, it is not a machine for gospel acts. Table of Men. What I don't understand is when Table of Men go like, no gospel artist has come to see us. Must they come to see you? Table of Men, they are to project the gospel. Unless their ideologies are different. Kwame.
Andy Dusty.
I'm very sure you know the table.
I know the table. I know the table very well. And I was sad when I heard it had been dismantled.
Not dismantled. Did they say it's been dismantled? They said it's on break.
The table is on break?
That's what they said. They said they're on break. They didn't say it doesn't...
On break, as in they are breaking it.
On break, as in... Not broken. Break.
They are on break.
About breaking.
So maybe... Okay, this is how I understand that statement. When they say they are on break, it means they are...
Recess.
In the process of...
What's the meaning of recess? It's the same, right?
Getting broken.
Oh, no. They are on...
It is dead.
Yeah,
kind of crunch I am. The table is no more.
I don't think Kwesi Ernest to be very happy with this.
Oh. When was the last time they had a meeting?
That I don't know.
When was the last time they did anything public, any project to support, to push the gospel industry?
But why is the table of men only existing if it's time for TGMA?
No, but
so I'm sure
so they have
do
professed over the years that they promote the gospel. They promote gospel music ministry. I have not seen anything, any tangible thing they've done since. Which artist was that? Since was it PSC Esther?
I think they did it for PSC Esther.
For PSC.
But I think they went on break when Nasi, at the time Nasi's Asida became very strong.
Yes. And since then, we've not heard from them as in projecting the gospel. But I think, you see, sometimes
they are going to support Kim Paluta or Kim Promise.
Sometimes when you form groups and you don't really have a firm footing, a firm foundation, if your ideologies for forming that particular group isn't well grounded, it will not stand. Because for me, honestly, I heard of this table of men when Dinah was vying for the TGMA Artist of the Year. I think prior to that, they had also done some advocacy work for Joe Metal. But the history I know about Table of Men was they came together to advance a certain cause for some particular artist. Then Empress gave them the name Table of Men. It was like a nickname, and they accepted it. But they were doing the bidding for some gospel artists. So I believe that when time was moving, they realized that, okay, maybe the focus has changed. Maybe members of the table have different interests, individual interests, and so we can't come together to fight a particular cause. Maybe that is why they've not been active, or that is why they are dead now. To me, I believe that the reason they formed the group maybe has changed, and so they can't continue with it. If you form a group without clearly stated objectives and plans and where you are going, it will not stand. I'm very sure the group was to just advance a cause at a particular time, and then later they thought, okay, maybe let's move it ahead small, but now it can't stand on its feet.
Okay, let's invite CEO of Media Excel, my brother Kwesi Ernest, in the convo. Kwesi, good morning and thank you very much for joining us.
Kunkum Bagia.
Kunkum.
International Kunkum Bagia.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing fine, Andy.
You see, the other brothers are lost. Immediately they had Kunkum. They are so lost. They are not part of the table. They are not part of the table.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Kwesi, this table of men, is it broken or it's on break?
No, the table of men, yes. As we speak now, kind of a recess, kind of arrangement, so that we can actually formulate policies and build ourselves very well, and then really set the agenda properly on it, and then move on with speed.
When did it go on break?
For quite some time now, we've been doing our own internal, not particular on break though, but in terms of frontline activities and stuff. Yes, we are doing our own in-house exercise and what have you. We're looking at possibilities of our constitution, our days, our regulations, the mandates that we have for the people, how to serve the people better, and any other more of it. Yeah, we are even looking at even election aspect, who to be the next chairman and what have you and all that. We need to look at all this and then enshrine them properly and then get the organization into proper perspective. I think that we need to do that. If not, we will be swayed into several industry policies and what have you that may actually derive us from the mainstream agenda to which we are set off.
Oh, okay. Now, Kwesi, first off, what was the main aim or objective for setting up this table of men?
I think that in one word, a table of men organization is much more or less like a pressure group. We got ourselves formulated as a pressure group to actually look at the level of injustices that is happening to gospel musicians, particularly. We established it to actually also leverage upon privileges and opportunities that exist within the industry that a lot of gospel musicians are being deprived of, from the award schemes, from industry portfolios, from several other benefits that exist within the creative industry that we felt the gospel musicians are being sidelined from. And Andy, me and you know that there is a lot of injustice, there's a lot of the gospel artists are being deprived from several instances. And I keep on saying it. For example, sometimes even with our schemes and big stage performances, an event where a secular artist is being billed to perform and is being paid 100,000 cedis. You go and a gospel artist on the same bill is being paid 10,000 Ghana cedis. And look at the permutation. Look at the margin. And for me, I think that these are a level of rascalities that we need to deal with in the industry. And we need vocal. We need people who can stand on their feet and then clear their face and stand for whatever is happening. And then to make sure that gospel artists deserve the best and they are getting what they are supposed to get. So actually, we are more like a pressure group.
Oh, so it's not just about awards.
You said?
I'm asking. Oh, in this case, it's not just about awards. It's just
no, we are not just about awards. We do conferences, we do trainings, we do seminars, we do we do teachings about the industry. For example, we had a training with Judge Britton years back, 2 years ago. He came to give in terms of how we can get gospel artists to actually benefit from large streams, because we saw that some of the numbers of most of our gospel artists are not huge.
Okay.
In terms of what on Spotify, Boomplay, and what have you. And so we needed training to equip some of the managers, artist managers, to equip them, to resource them intellectually so that we will understand the streaming system and how it works, how management systems, workshop. We need to train people, marketing, music marketing. You don't just wake up and say you are an artist manager. You need to go through some training. So for some of us who have been on this journey for the last 30 years, we've got a lot of experience that we can share, that we can impact into the younger generation that is coming.
Right.
So we are not just purposely there as awards. We are not just there for awards. It's just one part of the thing that is on our radar.
Right. I want us to stay on the awards or concentrate on this, because the reason I called was a statement you made on radio over the weekend that yes, you are not obliged to work for any artist, and yet if an artist comes to see you, then the table of men can support. You rightly said that, right?
And that's it. My statement in the graphic showbiz was
no. I heard this. You made this statement on the radio. I think you were with Kwesi Ernest. I think Kwesi asked you. I listened.
On radio, and then graphic showbiz actually also picked it up. So forgive me.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen graphic showbiz.
Exactly. But Andy, this is my statement was spot on. I'm saying that the Table of Men organization, we cannot just jump onto the streets. We cannot jump onto radio stations. We cannot jump onto platforms and begin campaigning for an artist who has received an Artist of the Year nomination simply because the person is a gospel artist. But if the individual personality or the nominee in question sees the reason with his management team and sees that no, we have some leaders, we have people who are vocal, who are influential in the personalities of Table of Men, and these are our leaders, and their influences are good. So let us go and meet up with them, and then draw up a plan to how we can actually campaign and then support our activation. Why not? We are a family. We will do it. But the Table of Men organization will not go and climb the tree when the person who has actually received the nomination is sleeping on his comfortable 16 inches bed. It doesn't work like that. We cannot do that. If
okay.
You get nomination,
in this case, because
we have a voice and we have influence to support your cause, you speak to us. We will gather the forces together and then come and back you up.
Okay, Kwesi, so if that's what you're saying,
Table of Men, and then we are jumping to come and do your work and then you are sleeping.
Right. You're saying that every artist you've supported may have come to you, or they have come to you to seek your support. Is that what you're saying?
Majority of the artists we've supported individually have consulted us, and we've supported them.
Okay, how about the ones? Okay, Kwesi, I beg you. Kwesi, please hold on.
To call all of us and then say that, brother, I need your help, and we did our support for her.
Okay, what about the ones that did not come to you? Did you voluntarily do it?
There are we have individual members of the organization who individually goes in there, but as a unit, that's different. Individually, I can support any other person. That's all for my individual cause. But to go on the front line as an organization, there must be that respect. Andy, we need to encourage our gospel artists to give respect to their leadership and stuff. Because the leaders, we are not just veranda boys sitting under the tree there and then doing the bidding of people. We've worked within the course of system. We've garnered the experience and the level of mind. Whatever we are doing, we didn't start it today. I've been in this industry for 30 years, managed over 20-something artists in Ghana. So I'm not just a quantum board there for anybody to just use me for his benefit as if like I don't matter in the society. So it is respectful for artists to see their leadership. Andy, you look at you. Look at the way I deal with you. If I need something from you, I will call you 12 midnight. I can disturb you on mobile phone if I need you to even support Kwesi Ernest's project for a music release. That is how I'm supposed to. I shouldn't just say, Andy is my friend, so I've released Kwesi Ernest's song. So I'm expected that Andy should just pick the song and then promote it. No. There should be a system where artists should see their leadership. You can't just go to Nigeria and then say Don Jazzy should pick on your song and then promote you because you're an artist. But if you go to and pay homage to Don Jazzy and then you need his support, he will support you because he sees that you will recognize him as a leader and an opinion leader in the industry. This is how we should set the conversation going so that it doesn't become like we are just errand boys and the people are disrespecting our cause. Because this same table of men, when we started and we were pushing people, there were gospel artists who were going on radio stations, ridiculing our personality, saying all sorts of money. People were even insulting. Didn't you see Coca? Coca was on radio everywhere, insulting table of men. Today, the same people are now saying why we didn't have gospel artists. So sometimes I don't even understand what the people want. The same industry, you have people, they say trouble. You don't have, they say trouble. We were doing everything, putting all our resources to support gospel artists. And some of them were going on radio. In fact, some of them even wanted to stone us to death.
Hey!
Some of them wanted to stone us to death. And today, we say, okay, well, we too, we have something to do. We will be in the house and take care of our children. Now, the same people too, they say, oh, why are they not helping?
Okay, Kwesi.
I understand it, Andy.
Right. I've heard you. But the table of men have been having clandestine meetings. Where is your office?
Now, as we speak, truth be told, we don't have a particular office that we recognize, and all those ones are in the pipeline, are in the plan.
In this case, if anyone wants to come to you, how does the person locate you, knowing that there is no office? If I'm looking for Media Excel, I know where to find Kwesi. Kwesi, it may not even be proper if I pick up a phone and say, look, I need you to do a business for me. So go ahead. I've deposited 10,000 Ghana or $100. So do this, do that. I think it will be appropriate if I walk to Media Excel's office, sit with the boss, and then we can have a very good meeting. Now, the organization is saying musicians do not recognize their office, and so until they do that, they will also not lend their support. Don't you think you are being unfair to the musicians?
Andy, there are several and thousand organizations in Ghana that do not have offices and they are operating, including even National Film Authority. They don't have office. And yet, that lady was working. What is the name? Lisbeth, what is the name? The former director. Didn't you see her print that she started working from her home? You didn't see her Facebook page when she said she started.
Juliet Asante?
Juliet, Juliet, did you see Juliet saying that she started even working as
but now they have an office. How about that?
She started working from her bedroom to her garage. So, there are 1,001 organizations in Ghana that did not even started with that office. Even our creative art industry, the where Okakumante was, it didn't start with an office. They started before the president actually started. They stayed looking for an office space for them. We are a young organization, and we have to take our time to build all this structure that you are talking about. Because don't forget, these structures that you are talking about, office equipment, logistics, and what have you, it requires a lot of money. And it doesn't just come, it can't just pop up like that. Unless maybe we have individuals who say, oh, they have money, they want to come and push. But we need to start from the scratch, build ourselves to the top, and grow. We need to look at the general membership. We need to look at people. We need to broaden our horizon so that at least the organization can be stronger. That is why whatever we are doing, I started and I told you that we've put a lot of things on hold now, trying to rebuild ourselves so that the kind of speed we're going, we needed to hold on with the speed, do our in-house exercise, build ourselves strongly, and then we can rise up as a strong tree.
Okay, Kwesi, before I let you go, I think your campaign for gospel musicians and getting them there, even to the extent of winning the ultimate awards at the TGMAs, really made the Table of Men popular, right? Now, this year, we have in contention, what's the name of the group? Team Eternity. Joe Metal is back in the race. Who else? For gospel, I think
of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, two. The two of
them. These
two. The two.
The two. Don't you think it will be a very big blow if you don't lend your voice, if you don't add your voice? That's number one. Number two, don't you feel ashamed for the past year or two, you couldn't help for an artist like Nasi, who came up with a very strong song, yet made his way through and nearly got to the top, even to the extent of winning Gospel Artist of the Year, and you didn't help? Do you think that all these things I'm saying are right, or do you oppose whatever I'm saying?
Oh, Andy, what is right and what is wrong at this moment may not necessarily be important, but we need to look at the way forward. Nasi is my brother, and we've spoken at length on some of these conversations. Yes, there could be flaws here and there, there could be flaws here and there could be positives here and there. Yes, that is part of a growing organization, challenges and deficit we need to deal with. But regardless, we need to look at the broader picture of it. If you ask me if I'm not ashamed, I'll be ashamed now because the conversation that is going on now, where now even the secular artists, for the first time in the history of the TGM, the 26th edition, today we are having even the secular artists who here too, those things were not even in practice, are even appointing PRs to actually debate on their stance to win the artist of the year. I would have also feel that with the level of heat and the debate that is ongoing, we could have actually have one artist coming up to say that, oh, with all the debate that is going, I hereby appoint Table of Men as our PR to also manage our conversation and then to carry on the debate for our stake. Because you see, it was King Promise himself as an artist who appointed Tilekwe Nipa. It was King Beam Nation that appointed Vida with a special newsletter
press release.
Press release. It was actually, if anything, a portfolio. You saw it, Paluta announcing portfolio as this thing, and then these people are working for the artists. I'm saying that the same kind of respect should be accorded to the gospel leaders who are there, so that it will make it easier and beautiful for the person, for us. It's not about money, but at least it will be beautiful, and then it will also be heartwarming, seen that a gospel artist and his management sat down and then in their wisdom thought that there's a group who they think that they have some level of influence and capacity that can aid their activity and their projection to the 26th edition of the TGMA. And therefore, they've appointed them to support their cause. This thing shouldn't be a problem for any gospel artist to do. But if any gospel artist in their capacity does not see this, don't expect we to, as leaders as we are, to carry my mobile phone to go and start going onto the public and start going to campaign. When the person, should I cry more than the bereaved?
Never again.
Andy, why are you telling me to cry more than the bereaved?
Never again.
Not make any effort. Even Stoneboy, with all the leverage that he has appointed a PR. What will stop for many gospel artists to also go and do the same thing? This is industry matter we are talking about too. It's not about going to heaven. We are talking about this is pure industry matter. And we need to deal with the status quo as it is. Let's speak to the children. Why have you left them there and you are coming to ask me if I'm ashamed? I'm only ashamed because the conversation, gospel people have not been involved with the conversation as it's supposed to be.
Right.
That's the only part I'll be ashamed.
Okay.
That's the only part me, if you ask me, I'll be ashamed. That even today, if you look at where we've taken the conversation from to today, this should have been the moment where you should see some of us battle the conversation for gospel artists. Because if you look at it, most of them, they have the numbers to equal their secular artists. And this is what we've been championing for all the years. They have the numbers. Dramatic has the numbers. Performances, streams and everything. Team Eternity, they have the numbers. Performances and streams and everything. So what are we waiting for?
Okay, Kwesi.
Gospel artists make the effort. If they make the effort and we, as table of men, do not support them, then you and the Dusty can bring us to the Sahindri, then for us to be persecuted. You understand?
Right.
But now that they haven't make it, we are free. We can sit behind the Sahindri and even have a coffee with them because there will be no persecution. Because the people have not made any attempt.
All right, Kwesi. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm so grateful in that. We have to go now. I'm so sorry about that.
As from Kwame, that maybe he wants to ask me a question.
Adam, go ahead.
Bosu, good morning.
Yeah, Adam is there. Adam maybe want to ask a question.
Yes, he's asking. Please listen.
Please, I want to be clear. How many members started the group?
Plus or minus, we were about 8 to 10 people that started.
Please, can you help us? That's Ninoy, Kofi Donko. Please help me.
Myself, Ubi Native, Frankie Five, Kumsen, Kwame Dankwa. The number is beautiful.
All about 8 members still there.
Friends, Abel Champon, Footprint Television CEO. The numbers, yes. Permit me if I don't mention your name, but we are very beautiful.
Still part and actively involved in the activities of the group.
You said?
Are they still involved in the activities of the group? Are they still there in their capacities as you started?
Apart from my brother Frankie Five, who announced his resignation from the group, all other members are very much responsible to the group.
And when was the last time you had a conversation as a group?
Some few months ago. We did some few months ago. Some of us have been very busy. Myself, from November, I've been traveling, doing my event and all that. We are artist managers. And some of us, we are involved in tedious jobs as well. We are traveling. Some of them, the artists are doing events and what have you. So we schedule meetings. Sometimes we even do Zoom meetings where we are supposed to do Zoom meetings and all that. So we have a very flexible system of work. We are not being pressured by anybody to go for a meeting, whatever it is. We discuss issues, and then because we have a page where we discuss several issues, we have a Facebook page on now. If you see our Facebook, if you go to Table of Men, you see that we've established our Facebook page. We are creating the systems, making sure that the organization takes a proper shape. You understand? So permit us if you are seeing some few deficiencies, but all these deficiencies, we are getting the proper medications to manage them.
What was the issue you or the group or some of the members had with Nasir and the manager?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't think any of our individuals, have any issue with Nasi or his manager. Because Nasi, me, myself, and Nasi, I'm the person, if you ask me, I'm the person who, Nasi has been a brother from day one. I've worked with Nasi for over years. I eat his home, he eats in my house. We do everything together. Nasi Record Studio. At one time, I was even part of management of No Tribe. So there's no way I can have problem with a person of Nasi's caliber. He's a good person. Recently, he met...
Not you personally.
He bought me a new shoe. Nasi, recently, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, he met me at the Boss Studio, bought me a brand new shoe. A beautiful shoe, costing about 4,000 Ghana cedis. So if I have a problem with him, how would he even do this for me?
Not you as an individual. I mean the table of men, some members.
Oh, I'm not sure there's any... The issue that happened with Nasi and listening, maybe I can say it's an issue of communication. It's an issue of communication, and like some of the things I'm mentioning here. Maybe some of the members were expecting that maybe Nasi's management could have maybe had a formal meeting that, okay, this is the agenda. Because, Nasi had a broader management. His manager is one of the best. And they have their own style of how they want to look at the artist of the year and how they want to win. Every artist has a plan. You cannot go to the artist of the year category without having a plan of how you want to win, how you want your votes to be canvassed, how you want your things to be structured. So the artists must actually have a plan, meet us with a team, and then we'll look at it. You remember something that happened with your friend saying, the comedian. You remember the NDC campaign? They had their campaign.
Which one, DKB?
He decided to go DKB. You remember what happened to DKB? The party was having their campaign, and he decided to go and do his own skit, thinking that he was using it to come and support. But the party said they disassociated themselves or whatever DKB was doing. It means that you need to follow a particular standard. You need to know what the artist has in plan. Then based upon the plan, the table of men can fit into the plan and then also do some several further suggestions to support for the winning. And that's what we are supposed to do.
Right, Kwesi, I think we've spent...
united in that front, Andy.
Yeah, I think we spent too much time on this, but there are a lot of comments coming in, and all are pointed at your comments saying that the things you're saying are not factual. This message says, Kwesi Ernest is beating around the bush. Andy, I can tell you with my full chest that the group is dead and it's not functioning as it used to be. And it's all got to do with personal agenda from certain members of the groups. Kwesi should take responsibility and man up to sort the issues rather than do PR to hide matters. Kwesi, so
Andy, anybody who is thinking I'm beating about the bush should take a cutlass and come and weed the bush so that the bush
can be Kwesi, but before you go, why did Frankie 5 leave? Because I know that Frankie is a very straightforward individual, and I wouldn't take such a decision without a good reason.
Oh, I'm sure Frankie, when he was appointed, maybe the deputy director for Creative Arts, maybe thought in himself that maybe he needed more time to.
Okay, because not maybes, but what did you speak to him?
No, he announced it publicly. There was no any formal communications to it. We wake up one morning and then he has announced himself on social media, Facebook. That's what he announced. Yeah. So it's not as if that we went to a meeting and there was a fight or something happened and all that kind of. So we've had meetings. If you should be, Andy, one of these days we will invite you to our meetings.
Okay, I'll be more than happy.
He's been part of our meeting. We will invite you, especially yourself and some of the members of the morning program, entertainment show. We invite you to some of our meetings. When we go to meetings, you should come and see the kind of things we talk about. Very, very important stuff. You understand? It's it's not as if that we went to a meeting and somebody stepped on his toes or something, but individually, we came to the earth individually with individual focus and purposes. So at one time, you can be part of a church and you think that no, if the church is not serving your purpose, you can move from other church. You are allowed. It's a freedom of
let me
freedom of speech.
Kwesi, please check this. On May 31st, 2024, Frankie 5, my brother Frankie posted on Facebook. Public notice. Disassociate Frankie 5 from anything to do with Table of Men. Yes, I coined that name. However, it's now registered for a group I am no longer part of since 2023 ending. Please be guided accordingly in all your reportage. This was Frankie 5's handwriting. Did you see or hear about this?
I also read it as you also reading for me.
Did you ask him?
Because the actual thing that you mentioned in there, the publication and what it captured, is null and void. Because I remember
that has been registered for a group.
Registered. Because I remember, and you know the interesting thing, the Table of Men organization, even in our meeting, the person who was directly responsible for our registrations with the Registrar General of Ghana and everything, the person who was actually in charge of registrations and other details was Frankie 5. So it will baffle me for the same person who was actually in charge of our registration and our administrative purposes can actually come and announce that the group, who he himself is in charge of its logistic administrative purposes, has been registered to another group. This matter, unless maybe when Jesus comes, then we will petition him to answer.
Which means, Kwesi, what you're saying, which means prior to Frankie's revelation that the group had been registered, you mean Frankie was aware that the group had already been registered, or he, as being a representative or someone in charge of that, had registered the group initially? Is that what you're saying?
I cannot actually speak for that, but I'm saying that as a group Table of Men, the person that, you know, when we go to the meeting, we share responsibilities to among us. What I say, you are doing this. Obinate is handling this. This person is handling that. This person is handling that. Everybody, we share the rules so that everybody can partake in whatever we are doing beautifully. Because we didn't want to create a larger kind of an organization. We are 100 people and all that. We are facing issues and whatever. We wanted something quality. You know, organization shouldn't always be that large numbers. You know that we wanted something quality and effective. For me, that has always been my destiny. You don't need plenty. You need quality. When you have quality numbers and you are effective, it's important than having 1 million people and you are not effective.
Now, so Frankie is also saying that he coined the name Table of Men.
See, there's nobody. It doesn't take one person to build any success. Success has always been achieved by people. Nobody can be the ownership of one success. The success of your morning show is because of the people, the quality people who comes every morning, driving from their homes by 7 o'clock. They are on the station to contribute, to make meaningful contributions, like we are doing this morning. Discerning people are listening, and that's the quality of your show. That makes you underdusty. So any day when you go out there to pick an award, when you pick an award, dedicate to the people who every morning are sitting with you and making meaningful contributions. That is what brings the success.
Kwesi, Frankie 5 has sent me a message. Frankie 5 says I should make it clear. Let me read what he sent verbatim. He says, I did not resign because of creative arts appointment. Please make it clear. I resigned to keep my sanity and personal brand intact. This is from Frankie 5.
Hey.
Well, bro, see, this morning, I don't want this banter to be between myself because it's been from last year, May. Next month, May, will be 1 year. And we have been fine till today. Nobody is dead. Nobody has collapsed. He's also wherever he is, enjoying his beautiful family with everything that he's got. I don't want us to have a banter with him. The focus this morning is not about myself and Frankie 5 or Table of Men with Frankie 5. As you are saying, he has resigned and we wish him very well. Whatever we do, maybe some of our activities will still. If there's a need at any time in our organization where we need his support, and we will call upon him. But between now, let us look at the future perspective. Let's look at the image. Let's look at the broader perspective of the organization and see how we can move forward.
Right.
Me, I think that moving forward is better than going to discuss people who have resigned and people who want to have their own personal whatever it is. I don't want to comment about that.
Right.
Let's leave it as it. Let's focus on why you call me, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kwesi Ernest. I'm so grateful, my brother. I just hope that the table will support the gospel musicians. Team Eternity, Empress Gifty, Joe Metal. Who else is in there? I think Better Revival Choir.
But you said they are on breaks.
You can ask them. Empress, we are supporting them. I'm supporting Empress. You can ask them.
Been posting
Empress all the way.
Wow.
You understand? Yeah, we are supporting. Andy, maybe, I don't know, but people want to create. I appreciate whatever is happening in the industry now. I really appreciate the level of conversation on this year TGMA. And industry people are of the view that Table of Men could have also bring in their presence, like the way we are having, so that at least it could be 3 secular versus maybe 1 gospel power. Then it would have driven the conversation to another level. But hey, if it doesn't happen this year, let's believe that next year something better will happen with all of us. Because we represent the industry, we've suffered for this industry, and we will strive to make it happen. Nothing will separate us from the love of God. Nothing will take us, not even persecution, will carry us away from the love. It's something that we've used our energies to do for the last years of our life. For 30 years, some of us have survived into this industry, and we will be here to the ages. We will support what we are supposed to do. We will cooperate, we will deliver, and we will make sure that the industry stands strong. And I stand for gospel. Gospel music shall rise. No one person will have the power to bring gospel music down.
Amen.
Gospel music shall rise, and we will rise to the occasion. And never again shall
never again.
No rascality will take down gospel.
Not no rascality. Because I miss you, Charlie. Try and come one of these days.
Okay, I will surely become.
Right. Listeners, that's the CEO of Media Excel, Kwesi Ernest.
Hits FM 103.9.
Kwame!
Never again. I not comment on this issue. Never again. Hey!
Empress Gifty was here. Empress Gifty.
Osi no go find money.
My sweet girlfriend.
But I thought it was Empress that gave them that name.
Pacho. I am saying, I beg you.
I thought she observed their dealings.
I not observed
and decided to give them that nickname, Table of Men, because she thought they were for a particular group of people and were against other people.
The press gives sent you a message. What at all did she hear that made her shout to Jesus?
Media and I'm say Table of Men.
I don't hear Ernest answer well on the naming.
The naming.
What dear?
Oh, so
he says he's not ready to go back and forth.
Somebody, it takes
Adam,
more people.
Do you know who named you Adam?
Tochome?
Oh, I mean my father.
Did you question that, Daddy? Why are you trying to put me in a corner where people will find it difficult to mention my name? Some are saying Totome, some are saying Totome. You see the way. Totome.
But you know, I have an English name.
What's the English name?
Oh, he dropped it along the line.
Oh, you had?
Because when I grew there, he told me.
Bartholomew?
Balthazar.
Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus. They all watch Zacchaeus.
It's E.
And Ebenezer.
No, it's E.
Emmanuel.
No.
Enoch.
You don't be Enoch.
No.
Ezekiel.
Oh, Table of Men.
Ernest. You
don't be Ernest.
E Ezekiel. E Emmanuel. E Enoch. E Ebenezer. It be what?
Oh, and then no day.
Time no day.
Evans.
Hey, Evans.
And Fatah
and the Mesa Totome.
Evans had them. Okay, can also in your bad. Charlie, let's discuss it quickly. And say the Kwesi Ernest. Adam, you go ahead.
I think clearly from what Kwesi is saying, I felt a lot of diplomacy and diplomatic
and rascality
and
blamability on the part of the table.
Trying not to, speak the reality, because I have met some members who have publicly told me in view of other people that they are no more parts. And I mean, it looks like most of them who started have thrown in the towel, even though it's not public. And I think that from all indication, there is a challenge with the group, and it is why he will say that they've taken a break for some time, and but you can clearly see that individually they are doing well, they are doing whatever they have to do. But as a group, clearly you could see that unity of purpose with which they started has died down, and I think it is why we have not seen them, I mean, that vibrant as they used to be. And at times, admission is also part of the solution, so that you get to understand what to fix and what not to fix. Because, I mean, it's like if you enter the gospel space well, people have really disappointment and real issues with them. And it's like in the gospel space, surprisingly, they set up to advance the cause of the gospel industry, like he said, as an activist front. However, the people within the space, so what is it that they have not done well, that they are not receiving the necessary support within? I think they need to do some self-introspection, because I've seen that there are times that I've seen some members also fighting those you are advocating for. You same members are tearing them apart on social media, among others. So how do you then fight for the people you are fighting? So I think there are issues with the group, and like he said, it's good they've taken some break.
And then please try
they should fix themselves well, and maybe look at realign their objectives and ensure better stakeholder relations with the gospel industry, so they can get the full support.
Right, thank you, Kwame.
And Dusty, Kwesi Ernest kept mentioning organization. And I kept asking myself, is it an organization?
Yes, it's an organization. Says
I think it's an agenda group.
He mentioned that it's a pressure group.
Maybe.
No,
it's
maybe. That's what he said.
Okay, it's an agenda group. They set out to advance agenda for certain people. You see the composition of Table of Men, or the erstwhile Table of Men. It's made up of artist managers and people who are affiliated to artists. So obviously, if you came together to push a cause for one artist, let's say Artist of the Year, and you say, oh, everybody vote for this artist. And then there is somebody within the membership, within the group, who is, let's say, a manager or has affiliation with that particular artist who is being promoted, then clearly others who are also in the same fraternity will say, oh, it's because you guys manage and you guys have a common interest. That is why you are doing this. From the outset, I knew they will encounter problems, because the moment you stick your neck out for somebody and then the next moment you don't do for another person, you have issues. Now they are telling us that if you want them to promote you or to push you during our schemes like TGMA, you should come and see them. If truly your objective was to push the gospel, then I think you could also go to them and ask them to come and then do a collaboration of a sort. There's nothing wrong with Table of Men going to see Team Eternity and tell them that, okay, we've seen that you featured in the TGMA Artist of the Year category, and we believe you have a chance of winning. So let's put our resources together and help you win this slot, just as you did for all the other ones in the past. So what is driving them back? What is pulling them back? I think that the center cannot hold. Things fall apart. Table of Men is no more. That is what I believe in. And I don't think it should come back.
Oh.
It shouldn't come back. In the first place, yes, in the first place, Table of Men is not an association for the gospel music industry.
This what?
It is not an association for the
Have
gospel
you heard
music
them
industry.
campaigning for Reggie Rockstone?
It is not an association.
Have you heard them campaigning for
It is a voluntary
Sarkodie?
group. It is a voluntary. They owe nobody anything. They don't owe anybody anything. They decide who to push, who to go for, and they brought this upon themselves. If they had maybe stayed low-key and advanced their courses in that clandestine fashion, nobody would say anything. But they stuck their necks out, creating the impression that they represented the gospel music fraternity. Nobody voted them into power. It is an agenda group formed by some people with common interest to advance their interest, and at a point in time created the impression that they were advancing the interests of the gospel music industry. I don't think we should be worried about Table of Men, because they are not worried, and the gospel music industry is not worried, because some people thought they were not doing the bidding for the gospel music industry. But for some particular people, there were some people who were against them because they thought they had their favorites. You can have your favorites, but if you are an agenda group and you want to keep pushing some people, there is nothing wrong with coming together to push artists A, B, C, D. But don't create the impression that you are for the entire music industry. You are not. You have your interests.
They are not for the entire gospel music
They
industry.
are not.
Oh.
If they were, Nasi, I didn't know man pushing Nasi. If they were, communication, bang. If truly you have the gospel music at heart, didn't you see the comments some of them made on Facebook that Nasi said he wasn't a gospel musician and Charlie?
I remember back in the day.
And that Nasi drifted at a point in time, did secular, and he has said in interviews he wasn't a gospel musician. So
help him to win.
So that is it. So they were not consistent. If they were for the gospel music industry, they will be consistent. They were for a particular group of people. They had their interests. They had their favorites. Simple as that. And now that things have fallen apart and the center cannot hold, why do you want to bring the center together?
They are going to come back.
Come back from where?
They are going and coming.
I didn't go.
But you mentioned that
what they did in the past, I liked it though, but they were not consistent.
Ernest posted. Ernest is what I'm talking about.
They were not consistent, Andy. And everything proved to the fact that they had their interests. As simple as that. Why should I be worried?
They say we didn't come call magazine no ma fix it table in kakra.
Kwesi Ernest knows that things have fallen apart.
Magazine no.
Don't joke with this.
No. See, Andy, I don't know if the gospel industry has an association. I don't know. But Table of Men is not their association. It's an agenda-driven group.
But is it not something we must all support?
No, I don't have anything against agenda groups. But if you are not for everybody, don't create the impression I am for everybody. They were not for everybody.
So you want to say some hypocrisy?
Of course! They were for some people. If you were affiliated to some of the members in the group, you might get the nod.
Let's not do this, Kwame.
And I'm telling the truth.
Kwame, please. Let's not do this. Kwesi made it clearly.
Yeah.
He stated clearly that if you come to them,
and I'm saying, if you love the gospel,
I won't sit here and say I'm promoting somebody who hasn't come to me. Someone may have come to me and spoken to me.
Are you a pressure group?
No,
I'm a pressure person.
No, Andy, I understand where you're coming from. There is nothing wrong with the artists going to them.
If Nasi had gone to them, I'm sure they would have done a pepe for Nasi this year.
But
if Timothy goes to them, Joe Metal has been there already.
So did Joe go to them? Because Joe had his manager on there. Kwesi Kumsin was then managing Joe.
So what were you
Ninoy is affiliated to Joe Metal. Okay. Did Joe go to them or they went to Joe?
I don't know who is connected to Team Eternity. The person is not connected to the table, eh? Small boys and girls, instead of joining the table,
not call them.
Must they be called?
No, they
for
have
God.
Called the Table of Men.
No, so if they want to,
if Nino is connected to,
is Nino still with them? Is he still with them? That's the question. Is Nino still with them? You can ask him. Me, I'm not saying he's not with them, but is he still with them? Let's find out if Nino is still with Table of Men. Me, if they don't come back again, I'll be happy because I think at a point in time, they were fomenting trouble for the gospel music industry by taking sides, by favoring some people and not attending to some people. That is my take. If they are coming back, then they should come back to represent the entire industry and not be selective. Honestly.
As for Yapon, the idea, if we don't go, the table we will be well broken. So this is the best time for us to leave. But we shall meet again same time tomorrow for yet another interesting edition. Tomorrow is Wednesday.